I trust you've been able to find yourself a place within the organization?
I'm personally overseeing the distribution of the vaccine.
All through the proper intermediaries, of course.
Intermediaries?
We have a great number of agencies who in turn operate other agencies. Boxes stacked one in another. They'll need to be reactivated, but we never touch anything directly. We only influence, suggest, insinuate.
The world must know by now, Everett. What we've done.
Know what? Only that the long night is over. The crown of government is tarnished, but that will fade in time. In the end, all sins are forgiven, even yours.
What about the constructor? And Helios?
Do you really think they're ready for that? After everything you've seen, everything you've done?
No. Not yet.
But soon. We have made our own mistakes, became insulated from the world we sought to control. But that will change. And you will help us change even as we teach you.
And who are we? Who are we really?
We are the invisible hand. We are the Illuminati. We come before and after. We are forever. And eventually, we will lead them into the day.
Or private negotiations. How does that sound, darling?
No need for people to have the perception that we started these organizations for some other purpose.
Unless somebody tells them.
I could tell them myself. They would think it was the same old story. The Illuminati secretly controlling the world. Who? Some might believe it, but everybody else would laugh in my face.
People want to believe certain things about their leaders. That's always been our key to power.
You said you had a map of the Templar compound.
Yes, of course. Here you are. Find the sequencing module. Go through the gateway to JC's sanctuary. We have our own interest in protecting JC Denton from the Templars.
I would think that you and Apostle Corps would be bitter enemies.
We are, but first the clam must give up its pearl. Good luck, Special Agent Denton. We will call on you when the time comes. In case you need a pilot to take you to the compound, the Nine Worlds Tavern is a good place to hire one.
That was a pretty low trick you played on the world, taking advantage of the collapse to seize power, and then deceiving people with a phony conflict between business and idealism?
No society is without this conflict. Our intention is to develop both principles and then integrate them into an open, secular society.
One puppeted by the Illuminati.
Our work has always done more good than harm. The collapse would have been far more devastating if Chad and I hadn't served the memory of my mother and of my family's history by rebuilding the Illuminati organization, which was nearly destroyed by MJ-12.
There was a time when we were the rebels. The older generation had failed us in so many ways. But now we see that the flaw was in their methods, not their intentions.
Their intention to disguise tyranny with so-called free institutions.
The average citizen in a society of billions is never free, whether because of tyranny or simply because of the contrast between his small size and the size of the government.
We plan to give people a sense of freedom and a prosperous world. In practical, historical terms, that's about as good as it gets.
Be there for us, Alex. The critical time is approaching. The Old Order is generally recognized as the high point of civilization. We simply want to revive it.
You grew up in hard times, Alex. Don't let that make you into a cynic.
Decide where you stand, Alex. It won't be long before you have to choose.
Order will prevail. It always does, whether the cause is mystical or merely secular.
Welcome home, Mr. Jensen. You have new messages.
Apparently that's not all I have. Make yourself at home, boss.
It's a fucking mess out there, Adam. You seen the news? Picus is telling everyone we're breeding super soldiers. Taggart's at the convention center right now, urging the UN to investigate.
Is it true?
Of course not.
Except for the Typhoon, right? And a few of those defense contracts.
What?
Oh, and let's not forget the fact that Megan's team was kidnapped right before her research went public. How do you explain that one, boss?
I wanted people to see that research. Megan was on the brink of something historic. Something that would have catapulted this company to the top of the Fortune 500. Her kidnappers knew it. They knew exactly where her research would take us. And they refused to let anyone else have that much power.
Anyone else? Eliza was right. You do know more than you've told me.
I suspected. But these people? They're like ghosts. Always in the shadows. Always hiding behind lies and proxies.
Who are they?
A name won't mean much. They'll use whatever one suits their interests. Sometimes it's the Masons. Sometimes the Bilderberg Group. They've had a finger in every corporation, organization, or government initiative that's defined modern society.
You're talking about... the Illuminati?
It's no joke. They're organized and they operate over and above society.
You're serious? So why would the Illuminati kidnap Megan's team?
I already told you.
Are we ready to begin?
We've established the candidate firm as a viable proxy. Public interest is strong, market confidence is high. I've spoken with my people in New York. Our ghost will be ready to activate when the moment comes.
And the research? The trials are complete, yes?
We're close, but we need more time.
Explain.
The tests have yielded excellent results during this phase, but the effects vary. With more time, we can ensure the mechanism will work exactly as required. And you told us the latest batch was ready for release. All of our plans depend on your provision. Delays are unacceptable. To get the data we require, the testing regimen will need to be increased.
We can see to that in Panama. You'll have what you want. Are we at risk?
Our new recruit is ready, but he is unstable.
And the scientist?
Under control. He'll do what he's told.
What about the two that got away?
Missing. Presumed dead.
They interfered in Geneva. That cannot happen again.
If they come out of hiding, I'll kill them myself.
Returning now to our main story. The global shortage of neuropozyne is making life difficult for augmented people everywhere. Pharmaceutical giant VersaLife, sole manufacturer of the anti-rejection drug, has suffered multiple setbacks in recent months, slowing the company's ability to meet demand.
Anna, what's wrong? You're unsteady.
I'm fine. As good as can be expected.
Are you skipping your meds? I know you're not sleeping. Come on, talk to me.
It doesn't matter. The clock is ticking, Ben. You know they're out there looking for us. And it's only a matter of time before he finds out where we're hiding.
He won't find us here.
We can't just sit here waiting. If we had enough information, proof of what they're doing, we could expose them. Conspiracies thrive in the darkness. But if we could shine a light on them, so bright it would make it impossible for them to operate.
2 against the Illuminati. You'll never expose the tyrants. They just cover their lies with more lies. They work in the shadows, it's what they're good at. I know because I used to be one of them. The only way to stop them is to wipe them out.
What happened to you, Ben? Before Geneva? What was it like to be a tyrant? What did you see? Tell me about him.
Couldn't tell where the man ended and the machine began. His name is Jaron Lemire, commander of the Tyrants, a covert Black Ops unit. I was working for the Bell Tower PMC. Lemire rescued me from a mission that went bad. Operation Rainbird, right in the heart of the Australian Civil War. I lost my entire team out there. Only 2 of us survived the crash, me and Sam. Corporal Sam Duarte. But Sam died before they came. I had nowhere else to go. Lemire recruited me. My first mission with the Tyrants was in Moscow. The target was a Russian minister. They said he was in bed with a cyber warfare hacker group. They said he was the one responsible for Operation Rainbird. Lemire gave me a chance for revenge.
Activate the wet drive. Call up the primary target. Remember that face, Ben. This is the man responsible for the deaths of your former team. You are to terminate him with extreme prejudice.
For Sam and the others.
All call signs, check in.
This is Blue, ready to roll.
Gray here, let's go.
White, I'm already in position.
Red, follow me.